Your board exams are coming soon. Are you prepared? We will be doing a 10-minute summary of chapter 1 of science. Different type of chemical equations, chemical reactions. So these are all the important chemical reactions that I've summarized from this chapter. Hello my dear class 10 students. A very warm welcome to you all to Deeksha Vedantu class 10 YouTube channel. How are you all? I hope you are doing amazing. पढ़ाई कैसी जा रही है? Your board exams are coming soon. Are you prepared? I'm sure you are, and your preparation is also going in full bloom. Okay, in this video, firstly let me introduce myself. This is Ekta ma'am, your chemistry faculty. In this video, we will be doing a 10-minute summary of chapter 1 of science, chemical reactions and equations. So let's start. What are chemical reactions? So chemical reaction is a process in which one or more substances combine or react to form a new substance with new chemical and physical properties. Okay, what are these substances called that are reacting? The substances that are reacting are called reactants, and the substances that are getting produced at the end of the reaction are called products. Okay, for example, in this reaction, zinc combines with sulfuric acid and we are getting zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. Zinc and sulfuric acid are the reactants, while zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas are your products. Now, what are the characteristics of a chemical reaction? Okay, what are the characteristics? What are the properties of a chemical reaction, so that you can see and observe and oh, यहाँ पे chemical reaction is happening. You know that. Okay. So first one is evolution of gas. Whenever there is an evolution of gas happening in a chemical reaction, that is considered as a chemical reaction. So for example, when zinc combines with sulfuric acid, we get zinc sulfate and hydrogen gases evolved. So that it means it is a chemical reaction. The second one is formation of precipitate. Whenever there is a formation of precipitate involved, it is considered as a chemical reaction. For example, lead nitrate combines with potassium iodide and we get a yellow precipitate of lead iodide. Third one is change in color. Whenever there is a change in color, observe. For example, copper sulfate combines with iron and we get iron sulfate and copper. Copper sulfate is blue in color while iron sulfate is green in color. Next one is change in temperature. So for example, in this reaction, calcium oxide, which is quicklime, combines with water and we get slaked lime. Quicklime is giving slaked lime and lots of heat is getting released. So there is a change in temperature. There is an increase in temperature involved. Last one is change in state. So for example, when you try to burn a candle wax, so what wax is solid, right? But products, what products are you getting? You are getting water vapors and carbon dioxide. Okay, one is gas and one is liquid. Okay, so solid chemical wax is giving liquid water vapors and gaseous carbon dioxide. Okay, so that means there is a change in state involved and thus it is considered as a chemical reaction. Now, what are chemical equations? So chemical equation is a shorthand way of writing or representing a chemical reaction. Okay, you can represent a chemical equation by words. You can just simply write the name of the compound, reactants and name of the products. Okay, the second way is using their chemical symbols, and balancing those and balancing the reaction. That is a balanced chemical equation. A balanced chemical equation follows law of conservation of mass. What is law of conservation of mass? Whenever so a mass can neither be created nor be destroyed but can only be transformed from one form to another. That is law of conservation of mass. Now, to get more information from a chemical equation, what do? We represent the physical state of reactant and products using these symbols S, L, Q, S, L, G and AQ. S represents solid, L represents liquid, G represents gases and AQ represents aqueous solution. Now, how do you balance a chemical equation? There are 4 steps to balance a chemical equation. Firstly, write the unbalanced chemical equation correctly using all the correct formula of the reactants and the products. For example, in this reaction, we can see all the formulas are correct. Okay. The second, count the number of atoms of each element on both sides, on both the reactant side and on the product side. In this reaction, we have the number of potassium and chlorine are balanced on both the sides, but the number of oxygen is not balanced. So what will we do? We will start with balancing oxygen first. Okay, so let's balance the oxygen first. So how many molecule of oxygens are on the product side? We have 2 molecules, right? And on the reactant side, we have 3 molecules. So if we just cross multiply, if we multiply left hand side with we multiply the reactant side with 2 and the product side with 3, what will we get? We will get equal number of oxygen in the reactant and the product side, but the potassium and chlorine are unbalanced now. So what will you do? You will multiply both potassium and chlorine with 2, and that's how you get the balanced chemical equation. Okay, simple 4 steps are involved. What are the different type of chemical equations, chemical reactions? So there are 7-8 major types. Okay, we'll discuss them one by one. Combination reaction. Combination reaction is a reaction in which one or more reactants combine to give one single product. It is similar to an addition reaction. Second one is displacement reaction. A displacement reaction is a reaction in which a more reactive element displaces a less reactive elements from its compound. Here zinc is replacing copper from copper sulfate, from its compound copper sulfate. Okay, next one is double displacement reaction. A double displacement reaction is a reaction in which there is an exchange of ions involved. For example, in this reaction, Na positive and Ba2 positive are getting exchanged. Okay, and we are getting a precipitate of barium sulfate. Next one is decomposition reaction. What is a decomposition reaction? It is the opposite of combination reaction. In a decomposition reaction, where one reactant is getting broken down into multiple products. The decomposition can be done in 3 ways: thermal decomposition, electrolysis, or photolysis. Thermal decomposition means using heat. Electrolysis means using electricity we are decomposing, and photolysis means using sunlight we are decomposing a substance. Okay, next one is oxidation. Oxidation means addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Next one is reduction. Reduction means addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. Now any substance that provides oxygen is called an oxidizing agent. What are oxidizing agents? Oxidizing agents are those agents that oxidizes others and gets reduced themselves. What are reducing agents? That provides hydrogen. What are reducing agents? The agents that provide hydrogens. Okay, so what do? They reduces others and gets oxidized themselves. Now there is one more thing: endothermic and exothermic. What are endothermic and what are exothermic? Exothermic means when in a reaction lots of heat or energy is getting released. At the end of the reaction, the temperature is high. It is called an exothermic reaction. Endothermic reactions are those reactions in which heat or energy is getting absorbed. When the reaction is absorbing heat or energy is called endothermic reaction. Okay, so there will be a decrease in temperature at the end of the reaction. These are all the important chemical reactions that I have summarized from this chapter. Just take a look at them. Corrosion. What is corrosion? Corrosion refers to the degradation of metal by the action of air, moisture, or acids present in the environment. It is a natural process. Okay, for example, when copper reacts with carbon dioxide, moist carbon dioxide, it gets converted into copper carbonate. Copper carbonate is green in color. Okay, similarly, silver when exposed to air gets converted into silver sulfide, which is black in color. Okay, next one, how do you prevent the corrosion? Okay, how do you prevent it? So first method is by coating your metal surfaces with acrylic or epoxy. Second method is by painting metal surfaces. You can prevent them from getting corroded. The third method is galvanization. Galvanization means when you apply a thin layer of zinc on any metal surface. Zinc is much more reactive. So what it will do? It will react, it will get corroded, and your metal will be left uncorroded. Okay. Next one is rancidity. What is rancidity? Rancidity refers to the oxidation of fats and oils present in our food materials. Okay. It is the oxidation. Okay, that's why it is called oxidation rancidity. Due to the oxygen, the oxidation is happening. That's why it's called oxidative rancidity. So the rancid food has this unpleasant odor, smell, or you can say the food is not safe for consumption. Okay, how do you prevent the rancidity? So firstly, you apply antioxidants. What are antioxidants? They prevent oxidation. They are anti to oxidation. Okay, that is antioxidants. So what they will do, they will prevent the substance from getting, food material from getting oxidized. Okay. Second one is by keeping your food in airtight container. If you keep your food in airtight container, there will be no connection with the outside oxygen, and thus your food won't get oxidized or rancid. The second method is refrigeration. What does refrigeration do? Refrigeration slows down the oxidation process, and that's how you prevent your food from getting rancid. The third method is flushing with nitrogen. Normally chips packets are flushed with nitrogen to prevent them from getting rancid. And that was it. See you in the next chapter.